Welcome to another edition of Strange New Pod, the first Strange New Pod episode of 2025. I'm your Fleet Admiral and host, Julian Brown, alongside the best bridge crew this side of going almost 5 years strong. That's, yeah, right? That face.
Wow.
It can, and somehow it is in May. I'm wrapping my head around that one still. Listen, it's a good crowd here tonight. Captain MC is here. Giraffe's a praetor now, I think. I don't know what's going on.
Happy New Year. I dress up for like celebrating the new year and I come and everybody's wearing shirts and I'm like, okay.
I was gonna make a comment about you dressing in the nines in a second. You didn't give me the chance.
Oh, what did you say?
Well, I was gonna say you're a praetor now, and because Eric created chaos with like the ranks and stuff. I don't know what's going on. But we're the only ones that didn't dress up. Giraffe was like, it's New Year's, so I'm going to put on a very pretty dress. And
I'm never overdressed. Everybody's underdressed.
Underdressed. That's very, very
I've been in a car all day.
I've worn like multiple outfits today because of being a dad. And that's just what happens. As you can see, we are too short tonight. Hawk had an emergency meeting that he had to go to, and Eric cannot catch a break and is sick. He got some, another Andorian virus somewhere. It's always an Andorian virus. I just blame the Andorians on everything. But Happy New Year's to them as well. Happy New Year's to all of you, our amazing collective, all of you in the YouTube chat. It is great to have you all along. Cheersing with water. If you're doing dry January, keep it going.
Drink your beer.
If you're drinking a cocktail, drink your cocktail. Yeah, do your thing. So, how was your guys' New Year's? How'd it go? What was going on? Chill? Laid back?
Uneventful.
I watched Wicked again at home. So I sang and drank champagne. It was fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah. It's the first year where I did nothing, and I actually really enjoy it. I start to see why people choose the couch.
The couch is nice. We did good couch with games this year, too. How about you, MC?
I was delivering food to people that were having a lot more fun than me, and then I got home and watched actual plays.
You were doing a very important service, though, because people need food for all the alcohol they drink on New Year's, and I hope you got tipped well.
See, I never dare like ordering food on holidays because I'm like, I don't want to be that person.
I mean, it's fine to be that person as long as you tip well.
Yeah, there you go. I just want to say hello to someone special in the chat. We have a first-time chat member. I want to say hi to Katie Lattice, who is, I believe, in the UK, watching us at 2:30 in the a.m. So, because we're that good, I guess. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Wow, I'll engage the couch. Yes, engage the couch indeed. I did the same. Drinks, yummy food, good company, and Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper, they were allowed to drink again this year, but it still wasn't that funny. I feel like it just goes downhill every year. I'll just do my own ball for now on.
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Let them do the new year. I think that's going to be
I like it. I like it. I feel like my whole life is Wicked right now. Between the movie and Broadway, I think everybody knows my story about seeing it the other week. It's crazy. Yeah, Andy and Anderson did bomb, Matt. You're absolutely right. Hi, Jesse. Good to see you. Let's get to it. This week, we are taking a look back at a year in Trek that saw Discovery and Lower Decks take their final bow. Prodigy Season 2 make its way onto Netflix and so much more. We'll also reveal our episode and series of the year if you haven't seen them on socials yet. plus our Discord collectives series of the year, and then all of you, your mailbag. It's all throughout our show. We're reading it as we go. 2024 was an interesting year. I can't say it was a bad year by any means. But we're gonna it kind of was Trek wise for a variety of reasons, but we'll get into that. But before we do, it's a new year. We're starting from the top, even though he's not here, so it's going to go to MC. Can you thank our amazing Patreon Collective members at the Ready Room level and above, please?
Thanks to Simon Stager, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Tallulah, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Ken Gui, Taco Nagumo, Fernanda Nogales, SMK, Colin Davidson, Shatterhand 2049, Justco, Michael Graham, Emily and Travis, Gildara, Maggie Light, Wayne Ritz, Skona Vark, Sean, Jay Howard, Mehalani Uchiyama, Matt Harker, Joshua Lewis, Davey Willett, Tara Poland, Slope 74, Rude Parakeet, Joshua Miller, Aaron W., Carl Angoli, Michael Kwan, Caitlin, Elizabeth Dean, Jim McMahon, Sedano 317, Puka Hair, 3 Fries Short, Kate Tip, Tripping the Read Alert Over a Pineapple, Sean Manning, Atcher CBF, Chris Waterman, RHCB, Martin Simpson, Norman Buckwald, David Prime Hildebrand, Taryn J. Robinson, Rod Griner, Eric the Red, Trouble, Jamie Roberts, Honeyberry, Paul Taylor Pitt, and Brett Jones, Michelle P., and our newest collective members, Margin Walker, 82, Melissa Bartell, and Jesse Robbins.
3 new patrons. Thank you guys so much. That freaking rocks. I totally hung you up there, MC. I'm sorry. I forgot to take that one and out. I always try and get them out, and sometimes I miss them. A big thank you. I was doing so well. You did great. You killed it. And as always, a very big thank you to our Badmirals, especially going into this new year. A couple of you upgraded. We already knew that, but it means the world to us nonetheless. Our EPs, Simon Stager, Chris Waterman, Tara Poland, Brett Jones, Dana, and Matt Harker. Thank you for keeping our warp core thrumming, our new
thrumming.
Time portal. Yeah, thrumming. I like that one. Our new time portal abuzz.
Engaging our core.
Engaging our core. Do we have the first one of the night?
Engage the core.
Yeah, we do.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh man. We have news to get to before we get into this one. It's 2025, if we haven't said that enough already, which means Section 31 is just a few short weeks away. We have 3 weeks worth of shows planned. 116 we'll have Operation Rachel. More details will be revealed about that next week. But Patron Collective, this is very important. Make sure that you hold on to those credentials that you were sent by Starfleet Intelligence. You're going to need them for Operation Rachel. Draft still doesn't know what's going on, and I love it. We're going to talk after the show.
I've asked. I was like, what is that thing? Why are people saying received everywhere? What is this?
Yeah.
I still don't know.
Yep.
It's because I'm Tal Shiar. I cannot get Section 31
No,
intel.
that would not. I mean, that's actually a good question, though. Don't you think that like they're stealing each other's intel all the time, or are they both very good at their jobs?
I think they're working together sometimes.
Ooh.
Definitely, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And double agents Boogaloo.
Yeah,
that's not fun.
Yeah, true. Yes. Oh God, Data knows about that I have the Engage the Core soundbite now. And then we are going to be doing things a little bit differently for our Section 31 release week. So we are, I guess I'm excited to announce these guys unfortunately won't be there because San Diego, Canada. Excited that we're co-hosting the Section 31 watch party at McHale's Pub and Grill in New York City, right across the street from the Gershwin Theater where Wicked is played. With our good friend Lawrence, who runs Geek Life Rules. So that'll be January 24th with a live reaction show that's going to be hosted by yours truly. And also the Borg Queen of Puns, Brittany, is coming back. She's coming to New York City for me with that one. And one of our Badmirals, Simon, is going to host with us as well. That's going to be all you. Anybody who's showing up, we hope you can. We want your reactions. You're going to come grab a mic. You're going to tell us how you feel about the film, and we're going to either agree or disagree with you. It's going to be a lot of fun. I ordered a special sticker for anybody that's coming. It's exclusive. So you guys will get one. Yeah, it's going to be a lot
You
of
say
fun.
that, but I never get any
It's
stickers.
because you don't remind. The only time you remind me is on the show. I need other reminders. But yeah, we hope to see a lot of you there. Space is limited, Mikhail, so make sure you RSVP on the Facebook event page. If a mod or one of our friends in the chat can actually put the Facebook event link in the YouTube chat, that would be awesome. Yeah, so that's what's happening there. That starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll watch, then we'll do the reaction show. Giraffe, you have news. Talk to me and the collective about Trek Talks.
Before I talk about Trek Talks, on January 24th, I'll be at Star Trek San Francisco, and we'll have a private secret party.
Hey,
So
all
if
right.
you find me ever like on Friday, come say hi. But yeah, I'll be at Star Trek San Francisco, 24th of January to the 26th. I don't know. This weekend. So yeah, come say hi. I'll be there.
I think we're arranging a secret communique from our event from your event. We're gonna maybe
There'll be some talk.
shenanigans. Yeah.
Shenanigans, yes. And the weekend before that, Saturday, January 18th at 9:45 a.m. Pacific time, will be the launch of Trek Talk. And I think everybody in our collective knows what Trek Talks is about. This year, it's going to be a joint production between Trek Geeks, the Sci-Fi Sisters, and Roddenberry Podcast. And last year, they raised over $100,000. And 3-year total, they raised $350,000. For what?
Respect that.
For what? For the Hollywood Food Coalition, HOFOCO. The portal right now is already open to donate. So if you want to donate, go. It's tax deductible for next year, but you know, there's gonna be a Discovery reunion panel. There's gonna be a tribute to Jerry Teller. There's gonna be a writers panel. There's a lot of things going on. It's on the 18th of January, live all day, and there's gonna be also a panel on January 24th. There's gonna be a lot of things going on these weekends. So trektalks.net. Go donate, watch, have fun with Trekkies, support the community.
Nice. Yeah. Trek Talks has been awesome, I think, like every year that they've done it. So
Yeah.
Watch, donate. And Jean's in the chat and says experience beige. Yes, experience pain, but not during Trek Talks. Donate during Trek Talks and enjoy it. MC, do you have anything? You've been doing Trek Talks a lot. Any new Trek not Trek Talks. Where my head's at. Trexperts quiz. Anything with that?
Not that I've been told, but I'm sure, keep an eye out. We try to do them every 2 weeks. That doesn't happen all the time, but subscribe to Trexperts because I'm usually on.
There you go. Very, very nice.
And even when I'm not, it's great.
Yeah, it is. It's freaking awesome. I still haven't watched the Generations quiz. I really want to watch that. I forgot to put this on the sheet. I'll do it very quickly, but if you're a patron and you didn't see yet, why do I have D20s and dropping them? Because we are starting a Star Trek Adventures show that is going to be played by our amazing patron collective. We already have our first group picked out. They're an awesome group. Can't wait for you all to, if you haven't met them yet or they're your friends, to share that with you. We're going to start putting that together very soon. The starter set is shipping soon. We're going to do the first story from the starter set. And then once I have it all written, we will go into a story written by me, which is going to be really fun. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be great. 2024. It's gone. It went by like a Q snap. We're just gonna get right into it. Strange New Pods, episode of the year. 4-1 vote, fully dilated from Star Trek Lower Decks season 5. Guys, what made this episode so good? The two of the people that voted for it are not here, but why did we vote for?
It should be overturned.
I know, right?
Only the people voting in prison can vote.
I want to know what the hell is going on.
Fully dilated would still win because it would be 2-1.
She's actually right. Why did we vote for it, and why is this episode so good? MC, since you did vote for this episode, I'll let you go first.
Well, I mean, it focuses on my favorite character, which is Tendi. And I will have to say, there was a lot of really great episodes of Star Trek this year. This was actually very hard to pick, and we'll be talking about some of the runners up. And I mean, as much as I love this episode, there might be some recency bias going on, but it is so good. It is 3 of the best characters in Lower Decks, and they really delve into all 3 of them. You get Tendi, Mariner, and T'Lyn storylines. And as much as we make fun of, Brent Spiner always turning up and everything, he was so good in this. Like, it's fun to see Data, and especially seeing this version of Data, which is like a very pure form of Data that I don't think we've seen since All Good Things.
Yeah.
So that's
no.
I mean, go watch the episode if you want more of my opinion.
Great answer. Draft, I know you didn't vote for the episode, but I know that you really enjoyed it. What made Fully Dilated so good?
I think I like the fact that there was weird aliens. It's been one of my critics of Strange New Worlds is that we don't get Strange New Worlds in Strange New Worlds. And why do I watch Star Treks? For the Strange New World of the week. And that was a Strange New World of the week. And I missed this episode. I think there's a little bit of, nostalgia of these weekly episodes where there was like people with stuff glued to their forehead and there were aliens. I like that.
I mean, you liked this episode enough that you made a cosplay for it in like 48 hours, which is pretty wild.
Drop it. Watch me.
You will. Don't do it. Don't drop it. Oh, is it going to work? Is it going to work? There it is. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, this episode was great because obviously it's heavily focused on Tendi, who is my favorite character, probably my favorite Star Trek character along with Riker. I was never expecting, I guess never say never because he shows up in literally everything. I was never expecting for some reason for Brent Spiner to be on Lower Decks, but here we are. And like MC said, it was such a wholesome performance. I would never have known that it's been 30 years since Star Trek Generations, and like where he played Data in his prime, basically. Like, I would never have known, by the way, he played Data in this. It was so, and to have him paired with Tendi of all characters too was just the perfect choice. And then Mare Bear just spending 10 months in prison fam. I forget the name of the lurker already, but I just love, like, I will always now just go yeah. Snell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snell's the man. I thought about so many other episodes of Star Trek that we had this season, and there's a lot of freaking amazing Trek from 2024. But man, Lower Decks has a way of throwing out something that's just incredibly special, and this was a very special episode, and I really loved it. We did have a question from Tara. What came in second? Well, good thing you asked, because we do have our runner-ups on here. Those were Red Directive, the season premiere of Discovery Season 5, and of course, the series finale, Life Itself. Draft and I talk about this a lot. The Disco Season 5 premiere, maybe one of the most cinematic episodes of Star Trek ever. And the finale gave us, that really beautiful coda for the Disco crew. What makes these episodes special, Draft?
So the premiere of season 5, I saw it in the cinema, and it was something. Let me tell you, that was worth it. There's not so many episodes of Star Trek that would get better by being on a cinema screen. That's definitely one. Even if, I found it silly that when I watched it on TV with like the ships planting themselves into the ground, on the bigger screen, it was worth it. It was so incredible. The music and the VFX, everything. But mainly the finale for me, We've had a lot. What's happening?
I have balloons. Where did the balloons come from?
Where did
For
you
a second,
do
I thought
that?
they were real.
Me too. Thank you for the balloon zoom. That was very kind
What
of you.
was that?
It was balloons. It was Zoom balloons.
Okay.
I'll find out later. That's not getting
Um,
edited out. I like the balloons.
Um, no, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, the finale. So it's a weird year for Star Trek because literally the three shows that were on air this year don't have a renewal, right? There's no more Disco, no more Prodigy that we know of, and no more Norodex. So we're literally closing a door off, like, for everything we've seen this year. And when we put the 3 seasons back to back, I feel this finale of Discovery will be one of these episodes that stays because it was so strong and it was so, I don't know, complete. And also opening a door with, while closing one, it was really emotional. The epilogue they've done was so incredible. Like making uniforms. Can we talk about this? Making uniforms. Well, literally 5 minutes of TV.
And they were so
that they
fucking cool.
that they shot last minute also because they were given like what 10 days? I don't remember how many days of
It
shooting.
wasn't
they
a
were, like,
lot.
5 days, 10, something like that. They were like, you're not renewed, so we'll give you extra shooting to finish. And that's what they've done. They build a whole world, the new shuttles, the new insignia, the new, and I don't know. It gives me hope that sure we're losing 3 series. I mean, I don't know for Prodigy. I hope not, but so far that's what it is. But there's still opportunities for future Trek to be told, to be written, to be narrated with these characters, and that made me emotional. And I thought it was a very beautiful. It was a very beautiful love letter to Discovery without being fan service or without having any cameo, any
Yeah.
nothing. Just them, and just the opening to Craft also was really emotional because I think Calypso is one of my favorite 15 minutes of Trek. So yeah, it was really beautifully executed for a season that I didn't like this much at the beginning.
Yeah.
I will give them that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. Just MCB Freego. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It is hopping tonight. I just want to go back to Fully Dilated real quick because one of our new members, Katie, says, Data's always been my favorite Trek character. I think he always will be. I think we have a few members in the collective whose favorite character is Data. So that's awesome. MC, what made the finale and the premiere and the finale so special?
Well, I think you guys have covered a lot of the stuff that I really liked. Like Red Directive was so cinematic. Like I remember when I saw the little teaser that they played for it. I guess they play that at some convention. I saw the teaser from Red Directive. I can't remember which one now, but it was so amazing. So like it, like Giraffe said, like even just seeing that little bit on a big screen really worked. And life itself, I cried so much during that episode. It was just such a culmination of so many characters that I adored. And then there was stuff that was I never in a million years thought would happen. Yes, I am talking about Kovich and Daniels. Like who would have thought? Like all of our theorizing as to who Kovich was. Did anybody say Daniels?
No, I don't think anybody
I don't think so.
said Daniels.
Yeah,
No.
I think they were like, oh, he's a time agent and so
Yeah.
on. Like definitely. I mean, does that count as a cameo?
I feel like it does
Yes-ish.
count like a cameo a little bit, but he's also like one of the supporting characters of the show, so it's weird,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
It's not so much a cameo as much as it's like a tip of the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was wonderful. And yeah, as a Draft said, they didn't have long to do it, but those uniforms, I want to make those uniforms, or I want to find somebody who's already made those uniforms because they were gorgeous. And Book and Michael were also gorgeous in their old age makeup. Like
They aged very well. Yeah. Yep. I don't want to take away from too much what you guys said because it was brilliant and I don't want to repeat much. I will say that like Giraffe, seeing it on the big screen, and not only seeing it on the big screen, but hearing everybody react to the moments that people should react to during that was awesome. Like the ships going into the sand, like the big action sequence at the beginning. As much as Giraffe loathes it, the reaction to the chase connection, it just, all the right points hit. And it's really something special when you can experience these premieres of these shows that we've come to love be so cinematic with fellow Trekkies. Absolutely fantastic. The only thing I want to say about the finale is that yes, it was gorgeous. Yes, it was beautiful. I just want to live in Michael's house. That's it. That's some nice property.
With the weird deer?
With the weird deer. I want to be friends with the deer.
The nut deer?
I'm not gonna hit the deer. Whoops, my shuttle hit the deer, guys. Sorry. Any other episodes that you guys want to mention before we move along?
Well, we've talked a lot about Face the Strange, which was also a great
That
episode.
was one of my
I
my
know
picks.
that was your choice at the beginning. Yeah.
It was. That episode is brilliant. I'm going to both send a shout out and also a tisk 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 to our friend Sean Ferrick from Trek Culture. If you have not gotten and watched their 10 worst moments of Trek in 2024, go watch that video because it's great. And I agree with 9 out of 10 things in there. But one of them was not liking Face the Strange, and I love that episode.
It's so good.
It's so good, and all the timey-wimey BS, the connection to Voyager and the Krenim. It was just so cool, and you guys know how I feel about Callum Keith Renee. That dude is a great actor, and seeing him have kind of a bottle episode with Michael, it was just great Trek. It was a little bit of Trek. It was a little bit of Stargate. It was wonderful. I really loved that episode.
Yeah, no, that's a great episode. I mean, I'm a sucker for those kinds of episodes. I really love Shattered from Voyager. And also, I love another episode that happened this year. I love Broken Mirror, which is really shocking because I don't like Mirrorverse episodes. But
Broken Mirror was very good.
Broken Mirror is so good. And actually, gonna shout out basically the entire second half of Prodigy because it's really hard to pick one of them because I think with maybe like one or two exceptions, like the back half hits so hard.
Yeah, like
the Flight of the Protostar was brilliant episode.
You could take everything after Broken Mirror when they're all on Voyager and make like a movie cut of the back half of that season, and I think it would be really good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any other episodes?
Fisher Quest.
Fisher.
Which I was really bouncing between that and Fully Dilated for my favorite Lower Decks, but I feel Fully Dilated focused on actual characters from the show. Meanwhile, Fisher Quest was focusing on characters that we love, but not like it was a nerd buffet.
It was. That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
But it was a really good nerd buffet. Like it worked for the show. But like, come on, nobody thought that Jolene was actually going to come back to Star Trek, and it was amazing to have her back in Lower Decks.
Yeah. Finally found out the reason why she just came on as Jolene. Apparently it was as simple as, she asked Mike McMahon if it was okay if she could just be credited as Jolene for this one. I don't know if it was just like as a statement against like things that happened in the past, but Mike was like, yeah, absolutely, you could be credited as anything you want. So it's kind of cool. Who wants to take our first mailbag? Anybody?
I'm putting the thing. Wait, I'm putting the thing. I can take it. I have it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first mailbag from Mott Harker. Mott. Learning about the passing of Ken Mitchell while aboard the Star Trek cruise was an impactful moment. While I'd personally never met him, being surrounded by so many who had, including his fellow actors, was something I won't soon forget. An impromptu rave was held in his honor and seemed a fitting way to honor a man who made Connect a personal motto.
Yeah. I only saw him in passing, at Mission Chicago. That was my only one-time experience, but I know so many people connected with him, and he was such a powerful force in this fandom, especially after his diagnosis, and still showing up to conventions, still being strong. You know, so many great connections in Star Trek Discovery. Definitely just someone who is going to be missed, I think, for a long time to come. I hope they keep doing the rave on the cruise for him. I think that's like a great little tradition. Somebody else want to talk about Ken Mitchell real quick?
I didn't know they had a rave. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a very cool way to honor somebody. And yes, those who go on the cruise, make sure that it keeps going every year.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that, Matt, by the way. That's really wholesome. Let's talk about some of our favorite moments of 2024. This could be anything. This could be something that you loved from a Trek episode, something you did that was Trek related, like a convention, anything Trek that was your favorite moment of 2024. Giraffe, we'll start with you.
Oh, fantastic. Top of my head. So I go to many conventions, and all of them were really fantastic for many different reasons. But I'll say my favorite moment of 2024 is seeing so many non-Trek guest stars in Lower Decks, bringing Nicole Byers and Janelle James to Star Trek was so amazing to me, because they're both like two women that I found extraordinarily funny and who are Trekkies and now have a connection to Star Trek, which is like so cool from Lower Decks to go and bring these people in. Now bring them to conventions.
Yeah.
I want to see Nicole Byer at the Star Trek convention. I heard that when she's on Zoom meetings, her name is Whoopi Goldberg.
Is it really?
That's what I was told. I don't know if it's true. But I was told that
Nicole Byers could do a it's she does a what you call it, the show on Netflix that's so good with her,
she nailed it.
nailed it.
Nailed
They
it,
could
yeah.
do like Star Trek nailed it at a convention,
Oh
and I
my
think
God,
that
I
would be
want-
amazing.
I want to do that so bad.
But yeah, I think that's one of my favorite moments, because they're both so iconic in what they do. Like Janelle James, if you don't know, is Principal Ava in Abbott Elementary. If you have not watched that show, watch it. So great. And she has such a voice. Like the second she started talking in Lower Decks, I lost my mind. Like I was like, I know it was last year though. Was it last year?
It was last year, but that's still okay. It's okay.
No!
That's okay.
Nicole Byers then.
She's awesome.
I was like, why? Oh, that was end of last year though.
It was like 2020. Yeah, it was like fall, winter 2023.
Because I did my cosplay for March, so I
Yeah.
was like, it's
Yeah, yeah.
2024 thing. So yeah, getting to cosplay these people is pretty cool for me. See,
That was good. That
I
was a
end
great
up on
connection.
something that makes sense. Yeah,
Yep.
like cosplaying black women in Star Trek, there were not so many, and thanks to Lower Decks, there are way more now.
Love
yeah.
that. Absolutely love that. MC, how about you?
Oh, wow. I've been trying to think about this. I'm going to go for a personal one, and that is last February when I got to meet up with our friend Jean Kang, which was awesome. I got to see the studio, and I got to meet a bunch of people who worked for Titmouse. Unfortunately, it was during the last week of work, so there was a bit of a dark cloud, but it was so nice to hang out with everyone. And Jesse Gender was also there, and it was just, so many wonderful people who work on Lower Decks that I think that need more attention and also need more work now. So let's get them all jobs.
Yes, let's get them more jobs on Lower Deck season 6 in a movie.
Yes, season 6 in a movie, and 7 and 8,
And 7 and 8.
you know,
and other projects as well, though, for
yes.
sure. Yes. Thank you, MC. That was awesome. For once, this is really easy for me. I'm still not, I think, over the fact that I got to interview Sonequa Martin Green. One of the highlights of not only doing this show, but of my life. Like, she is just such a wholesome human being. and getting to be on that red carpet and talk to her. And like, you have to remember, like, when you're doing these red carpet things and you're doing pressers, they're usually a very like professional experience. So at the end, I just was not expecting like the most massive hug, and she just like wrapped me up, and I was like, what the hell is going on right now? It was awesome. And that was the same night, of course, of experiencing the Disco season 5 premiere in the theater. And what kind of was the cherry on top of that Sunday was going out afterwards with everybody to the bar. And I got to connect with my friend Kristen, who I had not seen since like Dragon Con 2010, 2009, and just talked to her the whole night. Dana, yeah, you were there for that. It was just one of the most incredible nights, and I will not forget it for a very long time. Yeah. Any others? We can do another round. Any other moments?
I just remembered, because it's so hard to remember what actually happened this year. I got to interview Doug Jones this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Which was amazing. And it was actually, I think, my first interview of an actor on Star Trek.
Nice.
So it was so nervous, but it went well. So
that's a great interview.
And yeah, Doug Jones he's Doug Jones. He's amazing. And I was just very nervous the entire time. But yeah, I love doing that. So
nice.
That was the highlight that I'm glad that I remembered happened last year, because time means nothing anymore. So
yeah,
who knows when things happen.
Yeah, fair. Real quick, Katie wrote, aside from the 2 Strange New Worlds cast members I mentioned in the mailbag, I also met Alan Van Sprang, who was in season 2 of Discovery. And if you don't know who Alan Van Sprang played in Discovery season 2, he played Leland. So there's our connection to Section 31. Pretty cool. Draft, you have another moment?
Yeah, I don't know. I met a lot of people this year. I'm like also like compiling, and I'm like, wow, I did a lot of things. There was a lot of Star Trek events at too many convention, like WonderCon, San Diego Comic Con. So I got to see Prodigy on the big screen at San Diego Comic Con because they had a showing. I don't know. I ran into Doc Jones in the library in Burbank. I ended up at the estate sale of
Michael Westmore.
Michael Westmore. God, that was a crazy weekend. We went to an Gene King again dragged me to an estate sale at 8 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday, I think. And I get in this house, and I slowly, it dawns on me that it's somebody working on Star Trek, but I don't know who. And then slowly, I tell Jean, I think this is Michael Westmore. I think this is Michael Westmore. And she's like, who? And I'm like, I think this is Michael Westmore. And then I see the threshold Emmy in one of the rooms, and I lost my mind. I lost my damn mind. And I saw him in one of the rooms, and I was like, I'm sorry, are you Michael Westmore? And he was like, yeah.
This is something that I never knew about this story, that you guys did not know that it was Michael Westmore.
We did not know. Gene was like, they're selling Star Trek stuff. Do you want to go? And I was like, I had a tough year. So it was like not on one of these weekends was not like feeling great, you know? And she was like, let's go. We're going to buy Star Trek figurines. And I'm like, sure, 8 a.m. And no, we didn't know. And I met him, and I talked with him, and I showed him my makeup, and he told me I was very talented, which I think he says that to everybody. But he gave me some recommendation for classes and stuff. And then I got this mirror over there. Michael Westmore gives great face, and he signed it behind it.
Aw.
It worked for me.
That's awesome.
That was so weird. And then we called everybody absolutely drunk out of our mind from like just being in Michael Westmore's house.
That was the funniest
Not
fucking
drink. We're
phone
not
call
really
I think
drunk.
I've
We're
ever
just, like,
gotten from
crazy.
you. Yeah. Oh
We're
my
just
God.
insane about it. And we bought a bunch of random stuff. And that was crazy. Yes.
Dave Prime in the chat, it's kind of like you had your Boims, I think that's the poll moment.
Oh, 1000%. You know, I was walking through the house, and I was like, Jean, I think this is Michael Westmore's house. And she was like, is he dead? And I'm like, I don't think so.
I think it's really funny.
We didn't know. We didn't know. Like, you know, estate sale can be for anything. Like, people want to empty their house, want to move, or dead, you know, like, whatever. But I was walking through it and seeing things, and then we get like he has like that giant like painting of all the makeup is done, and then I was like, and I think I texted you guys being like, I think I'm in Michael
Yep.
Rushmore's house.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
And everyone was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So yeah, that was fantastic. That was a great day. Great stories.
We're gonna talk about Gene in a little bit, but I think it's really funny. I feel like when this podcast is 10 years old, everybody's gonna have like a ninth degree of how they know Gene. Like we can go back to this person, and this person's freaking hilarious.
I've done many crazy things
Yes,
with Gene King.
you've pirated with Gene.
I pirated with Gene.
I'm gonna go with one more. It's not really. I guess it is. It's obviously Star Trek because he wrote it, but it was really a Battlestar moment for me. But it happened at a Star Trek convention, in Vegas. I got to meet like one of my absolute idols, and that's Ron D. Moore. I willed it into existence. I was like, he's here. I'm gonna, because he wasn't doing like official signings or anything. I'm just like, I'm gonna go up and I'm just gonna say thank you because he's the reason I'm married. Like Battlestar Galactica is the reason I'm married to Karen, or as some people know her, the Admiral. Yeah, that was just awesome, so nice. We could maybe
Hey,
do.
Davey.
Davey's in the chat. What's up, buddy? What day is it in Australia? Is it Friday? Like Friday night? I don't know how
It's going to be Friday, but I don't know what time it is.
Yeah. We could maybe do a couple more favorite moments near the end, but let's do our second mailbag. MC, do you want to take this one?
Sure. From Jedi Cat. For me, the outstanding Star Trek moment was Prodigy Season 2, which lived up to the promise of Season 1 and then some. I wasn't sure how a Star Trek show geared towards kids would work, but it turned out to be the best of the latest Trek fare. Appealing to Trekkies of all ages, well-written with stunning animation and an outstanding cast, and fan service that enriches the story rather than distracts from them. And special mention to the French viewers who got to watch it first and didn't leak any spoilers. I hope 2025 will bring an order for Season 3 and more from Netflix.
Here. We are going to talk about Prodigy in a little bit, but did anybody want to talk about Prodigy briefly before we get to it later? We can wait. Yeah?
Yeah, we can wait.
Let's wait.
But yeah, also mercy buckets to the French fans who didn't.
Jeff, are you muted?
I am muted.
I thought she was just stunned by my my joke.
What did the French fan do? What did we do?
Oh,
You didn't
not spoil.
Prodigy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're nice people.
You are nice
sometimes.
people. Sometimes. Oh, man. We are going into our Discord collective series of the year, and they voted Lower Decks Season 5 as their series of the year. We've all said it over the course of 10 episodes. Bit of a flawed season, but a great season of the show nonetheless. Anything that specifically stood out to you in Lower Decks Season 5? Anybody can go first here.
Nicole Byers.
I'm
No, I think, we share the same opinion of that season. There was ups, there was downs. Like everything was great, but altogether, like we're not necessarily going somewhere all the time. But Starbase 80 is a great episode, and I like that consistently Lower Decks has given cosplay opportunities to fans. And I know that everybody doesn't watch Star Trek with that eye. I do. Every time I watch a show, I'm like, what can I make? And for example, Strange New Worlds is too much. I can't make anything in Strange New World. This is too much. Same for Discovery. It asks a lot of work. But Lower Decks has these so iconic characters that come once and they mock you and they become part of the lore, and they're so fun to cosplay. So yeah, I think that's what I'll get from Lower Decks Season 5. I need a bunch of Cerritos Gru zombie to cosplay with me.
Oh yeah, that'd be
yeah.
actually pretty fun.
I made a clam. I made a clam.
You
I
did
have
make the clam. Yep. Clam.
I mean, I
Yep.
do a lot of Tendi cosplay. I wouldn't mind doing Tendi as a zombie.
Have to figure out the glowing eyes.
There's
paint
got to be
your
able.
You could
eyes
paint like neon
clothes
green, yeah.
for the
yeah.
teachers, for the pictures.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for the pictures. Good
Yeah,
point. Yeah.
just for pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. MC, how about you?
Well, I think we've talked about this before, but we'll reiterate it. I think this season would have been a lot better if it had not been the last one, because I think that even from our side, there was a lot of, this is the last one, it's got to be something big. And if it had not had that pressure on it, we probably would have not been as tough on it. I don't think. That's just my opinion. But it's had some really great stuff. I really like a lot of the stuff that they did with actually the bridge crew. I love all the stuff with Carol and Ransom. These are characters that we haven't had as much from in earlier seasons. And I love that even though the show is called Lower Decks and it focuses on our, 4 and later 5 ensigns / lieutenants JG, but we really got a, good look at all of these members. Everybody on that crew is insane, and we love them all. And I just wish we had more.
Yeah, fair. This season was good, but yeah, like again, flawed, but I mean, you look at those last few episodes, like Fisher Quest and Fully Dilated, Starbase 80. I mean, there are some real bangers. And like, dude, it gave us Julian and Garrick. It gave us freaking Jolene Blaylock coming back to Star Trek. I don't really know, as far as like those things, those specific things, like how much better you can get. So I understand why the collective voted for it. I think that there's a lot of folks out there who are saying that this is the best season of Lower Decks, and going back to what MC said, like season 4 just holds a very special place in our heart. And it's just like, for Strange New Pod, it is the best season of Lower Decks. You may disagree, you may not agree, or you may agree with us. But I think that's why we're maybe a little bit tougher on it, because season 4 was, in my opinion, flawless. Just flawless. So,
But they just peanut hamper. But
Peanut Hamper wasn't bad in that episode either. Like, it wasn't like a dedicated Peanut Hamper episode. So
True.
Yeah. This is a great segue into our next mailbag, which I'll take from Gene.
The infamous Gene.
The infamous Gene, longtime listener, first time mailbagger. Star Trek has become very special to me because not only was it a professional achievement, it's also introduced me to this community of fun, smart, compassionate people. I'm very happy to have stumbled upon this fandom, first as a lurker who was curious about what the fans thought of her work, and now as someone who just enjoys being a part of things here. My time on Lower Decks actually ended in February, but it felt like it got to go on longer thanks to the fan enthusiasm for the show as each episode aired. Thanks for all the thoughtful commentary about Lower Decks, for laughter whenever I screamed, "We don't have the budget!" and for accepting me as a Trek noob into the fold. Looking forward to engaging the core in the future. One, that was a great mailbag. Thank you, Gene. And also thank you, Gene, for giving me the opportunity to say engage the core again. But seriously, guys, we're all friends with her here. She's always in our chat, in the Discord collective. How much of a pleasure has it been to have Gene as a member of our collective and join us, I think, every live on Thursdays during Lower Decks. And Gene, if you're in here, you're currently making your way through Voyager, right? Let us know. Gene, whoever wants to go first.
So I met Gene at a Star Trek convention in Vegas last year, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago, yeah.
I think not only Gene, but having people who are Star Trek fans and get the opportunity to work on Star Trek, because that's something new also, I think, for Star Trek, to have the people who make Star Trek to be Star Trek fan. It was not necessarily the case way back when. But I think we've seen that like a lot these last years, and having people who are part of making Star Trek being our listeners and our friend is very special to me. Not only not only Gene,
Sorry, Gene.
but I've made great friends, and sometimes I forget they work for Star Trek because they became just my friends. From an interview to somebody I hang with. I think this is the strength of the Star Trek community compared to a lot of other fandom, is that ability to this very flexible wall between fandom and creation. We see it from creators becoming fans, but also fans becoming part of Star Trek. Again, like Tony Newsom has been a Star Trek fan since she was super young. And, I feel that's something that's very special to our era, that nerds get to make nerd shit.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's great. But Jane is my friend. I feel weird being like, Jane is great.
no, but she is. But you brought up such a great point right now about like nerds getting to make nerd things. I was texting with Gene the other day, and I actually don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I'll just say that Superman, like My Adventures with Superman came up, and like how she's also like a DC nerd and likes Batman, and it's just like it's like there's so many more nerds who are making the things that we love, and I think that that's freaking incredible. MC, anything to say about Gene?
Just Jean is an amazing human being, and I love talking with her about Star Trek and about anything because she is just a really fun person to talk to.
Yeah, and I can tell the collective that I know Gene like appreciates all of the feedback, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. I mean, that's what they do, and they have to deal with anyway. Throughout whatever projects they make. So, yeah. Drat, could you take Mars's mailbag, please?
Mars's? Okay. Somebody I got the pleasure to meet this year. Also.
Yeah.
Is now my convention buddy for the Bay Area. Doesn't have a choice from Mars. I'm gonna have to say, finally knowing what a Galamite looks like to confirm what an amazing freak Jadzia Dax is would be my wait, I don't understand that sentence. Let me read it. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna have to say, finally knowing what a Galamite looks like to confirm what an amazing freak Jadzia Dax is would be my fab visual moment. In addition to the fun times I had at conventions this year and getting to know this collective, I'm well on my way to becoming Dr. Tiana when I grow up, so I think my Trek dreams are set. Vamonos.
Hey, nice.
Sorry for the double reading. I had trouble.
No worries.
Hey, it happens.
It's an important sentence because it is good to know what Galamites look like. As a monster lover, I appreciate Jadzia Dax being an amazing freak.
Yeah.
If you're a monster lover, go see Nosferatu.
I have been told that.
I'm waiting to go see that with my dad. Yeah.
With your dad?
Yeah, with my dad.
I would not.
I wouldn't do that
with a parent.
Oh no. My dad is like, you guys know about my dad. He's like hardcore film, like that kind of film. We've watched a lot worse together.
I would just be uncomfortable watching that movie with anybody from my family. Let's be
interesting.
honest.
Okay. All right. I can't wait.
There's a lot. It's rated very strongly for.
Yeah, I heard it was actually on the verge of getting an NC-17 rating.
It has an NC-17.
I thought it was an R. No?
I think it has. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Podcast.
No,
anyway.
it's okay. But isn't Doug Jones in Nosferatu?
No, there's two Nosferatu movies that just recently came out. The one with Doug Jones came out in 2023, and this is another one.
I thought this was the one he was working on. Interesting.
I had to look it up.
That's the one
Faye
with
saw it
Stargard.
yesterday, so I was like,
Nice.
which is the one with Doug Jones in it?
Nicholas Hoult, who doesn't age,
Yeah.
and Lily Rose Depp.
Nice.
Really good.
Yeah, I can't wait to
But-
see it. Yeah, fair. MC, can you take K-Dub's mailbag, please?
K-Dubs writes, where do I start? Going to Trek Long Island for my first con away from home. Listening to the panels there, a special Melissa Navia and her panel with Yatiti Patak. Sorry, I just totally blanked on...
You were, I think, right.
A name. Yeah, because then my brain is like, no, you're doing it wrong. Yatiti Bataki, getting to speak with Yatiti briefly in the hall after that panel, getting to meet Melissa, Gabrielle Ruiz, and Bonnie Gordon, spending that whole weekend around my pod family. It ripped my heart out to leave. It was such a good weekend.
It keeps going.
Oh, sorry.
we're all having the technical difficulties with the mailbags tonight.
My brain's not functioning. Talking to all of you here, I will admit I did fanboy a little when Gene King came aboard. As far as the shows, Lower Decks brings the goods. I have to catch up on Disco and Prodigy, and that's on the list for January. I think I rambled enough.
Oh, it was a good ramble, though. Thank you, Chris. It was great to hang out with you and meet you for the first time, by the way. I think we all met up at the diner. It was freaking fantastic.
Yeah, well, I was very sleep deprived.
You were so sleep deprived. Speaking of, a memory that I definitely won't forget, Trek Long Island 2. MC, you were there as well. How'd you feel about Trek Long Island 2 and hanging with everybody?
I mean, I love hanging out with everybody because not only is it the collective who I love, but I know a lot of the people who do Trek Long Island from the Doctor Who fandom. And so it's nice to have that crossover. And I love conventions like Trek Long Island, which I call hotel cons, where it's nice to meet celebrities, but that doesn't have to be like the goal. With a lot of conventions, that does seem to be like the goal. And also with these kinds of conventions, celebrities seem to be a lot chiller.
Mm-hmm.
They can relax a little bit. So it's always nice. It's always a chill party vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of, Michelle P writes, Trek Long Island was definitely a highlight for me this year. Happy New Year, everyone. And a Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, I think no one who was in the Tiki Bar is ever going to forget the Red Directive daiquiris. And I think that's all that needs to be said about that. Yes, you did.
That's
I literally
the only
just
thing
mentioned it.
people can
There's
remember.
Maggie Light on cue. That was perfect timing. Yeah, I got everyone drunk at Trek Long Island, but I didn't plan to get everyone drunk. Fact. You read that one, so I'll do the next one. This one's from Dana, who wrote, in 2024 was one of my craziest and eventful years of my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I went from being a socially awkward human who was scared to do anything related to the pod to being the unhinged feral street rat Julian never signed up to adopt. Accurate. The community has given me some of the greatest friends a girl could ask for. Binging the whole first season of Discovery in 2 days just so I could catch up with the watch along, going to the season 5 premiere in New York City with my best friend. I don't know what this means, so Dana, I'm sorry if I got this wrong. Spit taking? I don't know what that means. I think
that's where you take a drink and then you spit because somebody shocked you.
Oh.
You do a spit take.
I didn't know that's what that was called. I just thought it was like laughing hysterically.
The fact that there's a word for that is baffling me.
I'm with you. I didn't know this one. To spit taking at a diner when I first met everyone in real life, to partying at Dave & Buster's and all the moments that followed. I've loved it all, and I can't wait to see what more fun adventures await in 2025. Same. I can't wait for 2025. Trek in 2025.
Dana has reminded me of a favorite moment that I need to put in right now. The plate that we got from the collective.
Oh yeah,
that I still need to send.
It.
You need to give me your address again so I can send it to you. I asked you for that a while back. But yes, I am holding 3 plates hostage right now.
You don't have an excuse for the other two. You got to drive to Eric and Hawks and hand deliver.
I mean,
those.
I still need to know where to drive it to.
They have to be delivered before Trek Long Island 3 because that would be weird.
Well, yes. I promise I will get them out to people.
New Year's resolutions, baby.
But yes, it was a very lovely thing that was done.
Yeah, it was.
And thank you to everyone.
Yeah. I cried like a little baby at Dave & Buster's when you guys gave us that, so thank you. With that, we are at the moment, if you have not seen on our social medias, Strange New Pod Series of the Year. By the way, I will mention that this is the first year that both of our picks were not unanimous, and this was the most divisive of all. And by a vote of 3-2, and Hawk being the tiebreaker, Star Trek Discovery is Strange New Pods series of the year. What made the final season of Disco so special, Giraffe?
I think it's the final season of a show that's meant a lot to a lot of people. That's the show that brought back Star Trek on TV, that spinned off Strange New World and Section 31, that, made Lower Decks jokes in very serious episodes. It's a show, it's been the laboratory of Star Trek, where they've dared to do things, to try new things, to tell new stories. And that's not a slide to the other show, but nobody has tried so many new things as Discovery has these 5 last seasons. They also expanded Star Trek to the 32nd century, because let's be honest, the 22nd century is 21st century is coming fast at us. And that opened the dream, right? What would be able to do in more than 1,000 years. But that last season, as much as I hate the chase, and we all know the deep hatred I have for that episode.
Come on, admit it. After Disco season 5, you kind of love it now.
I still hate it.
I know.
I still absolutely despise that episode. But Disco, I feel like in their dying breath, was with me and was like, we're going to murder that episode. We're going to kill it. And I was like, yes, murder it. Because I feel that of all the canon, all the storytelling that Star Trek has, this idea that we're all created by one people is crazy. Intelligent design in Star Trek, I will talk about the chase again, but intelligent design has nothing to do in Star Trek. That's my opinion. That's why I hate the chase. And Discovery, in its dying breath, just said, oh, actually, everybody misunderstood. They didn't really create everyone. There were other people before them, and just pushed the problem further. Which I respect, which I liked.
Yeah.
So they don't make the chase like being like a lie, but they make like, oh, everybody just misunderstood the thing. I think Disco season 5 dared to do a lot of things, bring back the Breens. I had incredible makeup, incredible cinematography. Was that always great? Not necessarily, but things like Fred was so funny.
Oh, Fred.
Fred bringing back the a Romulan mummy in like an abandoned. It's like things that make me dream. Like when they were like, oh, there's an abandoned Romulan ship, and it's like all like mummified in like that. That's the thing I want to see in Star Trek. I was so excited. Even to the end, even if I hate the progenitors, I was kind of like, it was dope to see them like redo in modern makeup techniques,
Yeah.
And yeah, I think for me, it's the end of a Star Trek that was bold.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what remains of Star Trek, it's not that bold. Do I like it? Yeah, because I'm a sucker for Star Trek. But Discovery was always systematically surprising me with the choice of characters, the actors they would bring in, the storytelling, the set designs. The set designs were so incredible. So yeah, that's why I chose Discovery.
Nice. I just want to mention real quick a favorite moment of the season from Katie, who wrote when they made the other ship jump in the finale, like because they couldn't destroy it, so like, we're just gonna jump it to like the Great Barrier. That was a pretty great moment.
And that was so petty.
It was super
amazing.
petty. They totally didn't need to do that, but it was still awesome. MC, what made Discovery special for you?
I mean, just Discovery in general has always been special because, I mean, not only did it kick off like this era of Star Trek, but so many of the Star Trek shows literally would not exist without Discovery, because what did it spin off to like 3 or 4 different things at this point? And so that is without Discovery, that's the nucleus of all of the Star Trek that goes on. And this particular season, I think more than any of the other endings of Star Trek, felt epic. There was, like, even though they did not know it was going to be their last season and they had to put a little coda on it, it still worked as a final season. And I think it did it a lot better than the other shows that have ended. And I know that's just Picard. And unfortunately, I think possibly Prodigy. Sorry, I'm not feeling too good about the chances at this point.
That's fair.
And Lower Decks. Discovery felt nicely complete, and I do have my problems with it, primarily Adira and Gray, but I felt, other than that, all of the characters got some very lovely stories.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm gonna take it from the beginning. Discovery went from being a show that I was definitely not sure about when they introduced the redesigned Klingons to a show that once they hit the Terran Empire and the Mirror show, the Mirror universe, I was like, I'm in for life. Like, you just did something absolutely incredible and told amazing stories while doing it. I know we're talking about season 5, but I'm going to talk about the series as a whole for a second.
It's good. It's the end.
And then having a season of Star Trek, like season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, which is probably one of the greatest seasons of Star Trek of all time, giving us Captain Pike and then the spinoff, which is why we're here, is pretty freaking incredible. You know, I had my issues with season 3, but it also gave me one of my favorite episodes of the series ever in Unification 3. Season 4 was good. It took a lot of risks. And season 5
was a thing that happened.
It was a thing that happened. And season 5 was just a hell of a ride. It was just fun. And one of my favorite actors was on the series, which just was like icing on the cake for me. I can't say enough about what the team behind Discovery did, from, you know, Klingons aside, the makeup department, the acting, the music, just everything. I'm sad that this show was over, but I'm glad that it was able to go out the way that it did. On top,
I don't have it here, but I have the if you want to see more about the makeup of Discovery, there's a whole book called Star Trek, the Art of the Alchemy Studio, which is everything Glenn Hendricks did, which is just, I have your copy.
I know.
I got you a copy.
Yep. We all
So
don't
I have
send
2 of
things to
them.
each other. This just, yeah.
Incredible book. If you want to see how they created the Klingons and the Andorians, even the corpse in the Battle of the Binary Stars, incredible book to read. Even like how you angle like Vulcan ears. Such a good book to read.
That, and I'll also give a shout out to The Art of Neville Page, which is also, you know, because they work together, another fantastic book if you want the ins and outs of makeup in Star Trek. Draft, if you can keep going, because this is related, could you take Champion D's mailbag, please?
Yes. yes, from Champion D. Discovery Season 5 was the definite highlight for me. From its dedication to pushing the characters forward, to its engaging story and the gorgeous visuals, this was Trek firing on all cylinders, and I loved every minute of it. And Sonequa Martin Green, talk about an actor's actor. Her performance in Labyrinth is one of the best Trek performances ever put to screen. Season 5 did everything an excellent final season and a great piece of TV should do. It reflected on the series past, it displayed the growth of the characters, it dealt with human truths, had something interesting to say, and told a great story. Excellence.
That's a great mailbag.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good.
The shout out to Labyrinth. I mean, this season had such incredible episodes. I mean, that performance was, and Sonequa Martin Green is great in that episode, but David Ajala, holy shit, in that episode as well. Wow, yeah. So we're going to talk now about our runner-up, which was Prodigy Season 2. Despite it all being released at once, I know that was weird for a lot of us. This was a fantastic season of Trek. MC, this was your vote, and I believe Eric's vote. If you want to talk about Prodigy Season 2.
Sure. And with Discovery, I'm going to start by talking about the first season first. I actually took a while to warm up to Prodigy. At first, I didn't get it. And, certainly it's kid characters, and I'm in my 40s. So it took a while to get it. But by the end of season 1, I did get it. And I loved the story and I loved the characters. But Prodigy Season 2 takes everything that they did in season 1 and they just amp it up. And it shows that this is not a Trek show for kids. This is a Trek show that can be watched by kids. Because there is such a tight story here. And I think actually possibly a tighter story than a lot of Trek has done. Which is saying a lot considering Prodigy has 20 episodes that they do?
Yeah.
There's two 20-episode seasons, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, the episodes are half as long as the other Trek series other than Lower Decks, but that can make it harder because you've got to tell a full story in 30 minutes, but then you have 20 episodes to fill to do this entire storyline, and they did it so well. I know we've had issues with how they brought back Will Wheaton, but it was great that they brought back Will Wheaton. Like, it was so much. This was such a better reintroduction to him than in Picard season 2. And as much as I loved the characters at the end of season 1, I fell in love with them even more in this season.
Nice. Yeah. I just want to say that, sorry, not me. I'm sorry. I got totally distracted. Jesse wanted to say Prodigy felt like it was written for me. I grew up watching TNG and I love Janeway. I love Will Wheaton. It was just so much fun. And that's so true, right? Like, this was such an amazing performance from Kate Mulgrew as Janeway, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, so I don't want to take away from Draft, but that's a great comment, Jesse. Draft, what did you think about Prodigy season 2?
I mean, I love Prodigy since season 1, episode 1. I was like on board with it. I was like, yes, this is so fun. The show has always been gorgeous. The animation is incredible. The music, I mean, incredible score by Naomi Malumad. It's my favorite opening of Star Trek.
It's amazing.
It's a gorgeous opening.
So beautiful. So season 2, I was so excited about it, especially because we had talked with the Agman brothers. We had talked with Aaron Walkie about that second season. I was so excited about it. And I think the problem in releasing that second season really messed up my vision of the season. That's what I was talking about with you guys. First, seeing it on French TV in French on my computer at 2 a.m. because I wanted to know so bad what happened. Then having to shut up for literally 3 months?
It was a while.
It was a while.
It was a while, yeah.
Yeah, and not knowing, I didn't know that the title of the episode was A Triple Name Quest until it was released in the US.
Which is still probably best Trek title episode ever.
So good.
But I was like, I didn't understand the titles. I was like, yeah, sure. A lot of jokes, a lot of inside things get lost in translation. And I think that then I rewatched it in English, but I already knew the story. So I was kind of like, I'm going to rewatch it because I want to know what they say in English so I can talk about it in English. And having that binge model, I think is not great for Star Trek. And for me, it really impacted how I've experienced that second season. And I thought I would be able to just move past it. But actually, no, having the cliffhanger week after week and like being like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. To be just able to watch like 5 hours of it in like, one sitting, it changes thing. It also blurs all the episodes in my brain. I have no clue which episode is which.
There's like a couple episodes that I can like pick out by name, but
Broken
it's
Mirror.
like maybe Broken Mirror,
Triple Name Quest.
Triple Name Quest, and
Fast and the
is there? Oh, I was thinking, is there in Beauty No Truth?
No
Yeah.
Truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are amazing episodes, by the way.
Mhm.
And when I go back to them, because like we were reviewing them, I was like, oh, this is such a great episode. Like the hologram one, for example, I hated it when I watched it like in a binge model because I was like, give me the story. But rewatching it one by one, I actually really like this episode. So I think it was actually my first choice, Prodigy season 2 as like best season of the year. But also the first part for me was kind of not my favorite. I could not get into the story. I didn't know what was going on. The back and forth, like with the timey-wimey thing, I was like, please just get me to the thing. The second part, though, is brilliant. And in total, we got 40 episodes of I was going to say Lower Decks, of Prodigy, which is awesome. That's a lot of work. I do hope they get a season 3 because how they left us in season 2 is really really enticing. But I also hope that if they get that season 3, I really do hope they do, they get a release model that is suited for Trek.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would very much agree with that.
Save our brains. It is so hard to review a show that's binge model. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I think that was probably, no bullshit, the hardest few months that we've had as a podcast was navigating that.
Reviewing the episode 20, like how many weeks after it was released?
I think a little under 20 because we reviewed a couple at a time sometimes, but yeah.
It was a lot. I do hope they get a season 3, but like I said, the more time that passes and we haven't heard anything, the more the more worried I get that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. Like Cecily and I, and I say Cecily, but Karen, Cecily, and I just wrapped Arcane, and that's not going to get a 3rd season, but it told a really good story in 2 seasons. Animation's a fickle beast with how they renew it sometimes. I have to say that the more I think about Prodigy season 2, the more I really look at it as 2 separate seasons, like a season 2 and a season 3, because the first half of that of season 2 just did nothing for me, really. I think, Kate Mulgrew saved that first half. I think she saved the season. I think this would have been a very different season without Kate Mulgrew. I think that,
and Robert Beltran
and Robert Beltran back as Chakotay was freaking fantastic, and I was here for it. But Janeway was a supporting character in season 1, right? In season 2, she is back to a main, right? Like she is Janeway in every single episode, and it feels like live action. Unfortunately, Will Wheaton's return just did not work at all for me. But then you do get into that back half, and it is just some of the most incredible Trek. And I'll give everybody a little taste, a little bit of a teaser. The way they left Prodigy season 2 worked so well, and connecting that to the wider universe of Trek and the synth attack on Mars. It's not a Prodigy story, but the way that my Star Trek adventure is going to start is in the very few days following that event. So stay tuned. Thank you, Star Trek Prodigy. Anything else on Prodigy before we get into some more mailbag?
I just wanted to say one thing. Everybody that was bitching about Star Wars doing Prodigy, I hope they watch Skeleton Crew because it has nothing to do with
No,
Prodigy.
not at all. Skeleton Crew is I haven't caught up, but it's so damn good.
It's incredible. But like it was so funny because when they announced it, like the pitch was like, is that Prodigy?
Prodigy,
Basically.
yeah.
And interesting that with the same concept, you were able to make a totally different
Totally
story.
different show. Yeah.
Totally different show, yeah.
Yeah. I do have to give a very special shout out because it's the one thing that's burned into my brain for Prodigy season 2 is the opening to Last Flight of the Protostar Part 1
Oh, yes.
with Old Man Chakotay going through his daily routine is one of the most beautifully animated and just beautifully told stories in all of Trek. I believe Giraffe read the last mailbag, if I'm correct.
I did.
So,
Yes.
MC, can you take NY Rowlights, please?
Sure. And my Riley wrote, 2024 was a bittersweet year of Trek for me. We said goodbye to Discovery and Lower Decks, and probably to Prodigy as well, since I'm not expecting a third season. All ended on high notes, showing how Prodigy did not end on a high note. All ended on high notes, showing how much more we could have gotten if Paramount had a clue how to handle the franchise. It's hard to pick one favorite moment, but it's probably the return of Wesley as Trek's equivalent of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be Gene, but I think Paramount does not have the budget.
They don't have the budget. Skydance, close the deal. Close the deal. We need that Trek money coming back in. I will take Dave Primes, who wrote, there were several moments that have stood out for me this past year. Having Wesley play a major role in season 2 of Prodigy was well deserved. And the end where he saw his little brother, baby Jack, brought a tear to my eye. It is a bit tougher to choose a favorite in regards to Discovery, but Culber really shined in Janal. Very true. But Lower Decks, there's so much with that final season. Seeing Purple Data, the Blue Orions, Ma'achin Malor, Upper Decks, Harry Kim gone bonkers, Garashir, oh my gay. But sorry to rub salt on the wound, Julian. The biggest highlight would be the signed poster I received from Jack Quaid, Tawny Newsom, Eugene Cordero, Noel Wells, and Mike McMahon. Geekgasm. Yes, that's pretty freaking awesome to get that. Yeah, I mean, all of those are just great moments of Trek in 2024. Well said. And then going back to the top, Giraffe, can you take our newest Discord members? She's been in the chat tonight, please. Katie.
From Katie, my favorite Trek moment in 2024 was meeting Melissa Navia and Babs Olusan Mokun, at Comic-Con Liverpool here in England. They are both wonderful people. God, autos?
Autographs.
Oh, autographs. Sorry. I'm struggling with the mailbag.
That's
tonight. There's
okay.
a lot.
We all are.
Got autographs and photos with them too.
Yeah, Melissa. I haven't met Babs yet, but Melissa is a sweetheart. Obviously
Melissa's great.
Interviewer Trek Long Island Season 2. She's
I
fantastic.
met him once.
Did
I
you?
met him once. Yeah, I ran into him at an event and I was like, I love your character in Strange New Worlds. And I was in full cosplay and he was like, thank you. He hugged me and then we both left and I was like, this was so weird. But
That's funny.
Ships
He's
passing
really
in the night.
is really exactly. I was going somewhere, he was going somewhere. I was like, you no, I didn't do that, but yeah, he's a really sweet man.
Nice. I want to meet him sometime. We are gonna end on this question. What are you most looking forward to from Star Trek in 2025? MC, we'll start with you. It's a tough question.
It is a very tough question. I think I'm looking forward to the announcements we haven't gotten yet because I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that, we've closed the book on several series at this point, 2, possibly 3 series. And I don't think that even with as much fuckery is going on with Paramount, that they're only going to have one Star Trek. That's probably only going to get another 2 seasons. And I mean, I guess I got Starfleet Academy too. Sorry, I forgot about that. But yeah, they're gonna want to put some more coals on the fire. And then I'm also looking forward to showing more Star Trek to Faye.
Hey, there you go. Draft 2025 Star Trek.
I think we've all abandoned the idea that they're gonna make a movie, right?
No, because with Skydance buying them, I think a movie is going to happen. I'm still on the movie train.
I don't know. And they keep breaking my heart.
I'm not going to believe Kelvin Forrest happening until I'm in the theaters watching it.
You have your ticket in the hand and like it actually starts.
So
on the
I've
screen
eaten
there.
my first kernel of popcorn.
I mean, they made a whole
fair.
Batgirl movie, and I'm never getting to see that. So I know that wasn't Paramount.
Don't even get me started. I'm still furious about
Sorry.
the Batgirl movie.
I think what I'm looking forward. I really want the show that Tawny Newsome and Justin Simon are working on to become a thing. Because they've teased a lot, but I don't know that it's a thing yet.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really looking forward to actually having a title, a pitch, a start of a cast. I don't know, like something that's like, release date 2026 or something like that. It's actually in the book and it's actually happening. I am really looking forward to see showrunners that are not white guys back in Star Trek. Even if I love their work and I love most of them and some of them are friends. I do think that having diverse voices as showrunners is very important for Star Trek. So that's what I'm really looking forward. Well, we'll have the Academy with what's her name? I'm blanking.
Who?
The showrunner for the Academy. No Galando.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right?
I think so. Right? I actually don't
Somebody
know.
fact check me.
Yeah, no, you are correct. Now that you have said it, you are correct.
So that's what I'm looking forward to, like having, different voices for show running Star Trek. And I think we're there. And I'm gonna add one thing because I'm still bitter about it, but the Doctor Who Star Trek crossover when? Because I stood in line. Yes,
you did
for that panel.
For that panel, I ran through a convention center. Yes, I fought with people to get there, to be in the front seat when they were going to announce, and it was a phone game.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like it was a game specifically for. It was like an expansion to an already existing game.
We got very cool little like bracelets. I will give them that.
Yeah,
these were cool, and they're very cool posters also.
Yeah,
but I did something I would like for it to happen.
Yeah,
I think they're teasing. I think they're like
it could work
a little bit.
It could work.
Mm-hmm.
I will say again, I'll shout it out one more time because this was a big topic on that Sean Ferrick's Trek Culture video. Top 10 worst moments in Trek. That was one of them. Was the lame not announcement. Just ridiculous.
To have Kurtzman and what's his name? I don't remember his name.
Why am I blanking on it?
I feel like an idiot blanking on this too.
Right,
who runs Doctor Who? Guys, help! It's not Moffat anymore. It's
British
the other guy.
It's not,
I can't remember his name. Anyway,
I'm not a Whovian, so it's not me.
Someone will tell us in a second.
Kurtzman and that Who guy,
Russell T. Davies.
Russell T. Davis.
Okay, have them both there for a panel was insane. For a game on the phone, that was
so
crazy. That was crazy. But yeah, that's something I like them to do.
Yeah. Listen, you guys know me well by now. I don't know enough that I'm going to say Strange New Worlds because we're a Strange New Worlds podcast. I know. Listen, it would
so long.
It's people know how we feel already going into season 3 after that clip. Okay. We know there's going to be some stuff that we're not going to like, but I remain hopeful.
Clip was good.
The opening to what is definitely going to be the premiere is looking like it's going to be fantastic. Yes. And the reason I say Strange New Worlds is specifically they're doing a Hollywood murder mystery episode and Jonathan Frakes is directing it, and I feel like that's just going to be magical. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I would also assume with filming happening that we are going to get an Academy trailer, and with all the amazing cast members dude, I'm stoked for Paul Giamatti in Star Trek, by the way. I love him, and he makes both a really good bad guy. He's just a great actor, period. And that's a really great cast that they have. So I know everybody's like, well, this isn't a Star Trek show that we asked for. No, it's not. But here we are, and I think we should give it a chance, and I think it could be a lot of fun. So,
Tatiana Maslany. Also.
Tatiana Maslany,
Yeah.
oh, so good.
Really looking forward to
Yeah.
what she's gonna play. Yeah.
It may not be the Star Trek people want, but it might be the Star Trek people need.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, the haters need to hate on something because Discovery is over. So I feel the Academy is gonna take the blunt of
Oh, it'll do something.
all these people who don't know what to do with their lives.
Yep.
It lets me know who to block.
It does, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna do some calling out at the top of the show, and I decided against it. But to the disco haters after Lower Deck season finale, you know who you are, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. There's my rant. And with that, we are gonna end the show with what I think is a beautiful limerick from Tara. If you could read that, MC.
Oh, you're going to make me.
Do you want me to do it? You
Oh,
can.
it's-
No, I gave it to you. It's you.
Okay. In 2024, Trek brought hours of delight, despite Disco's end and Prodigy's near slight. Lower Decks made us howl. To its cancellation, we vociferously cry foul. And to Wayne, alas, we bade a somber goodnight.
Tara, that was beautiful. And yes, we did lose one of our amazing collective members this year, Wayne. And one thing I think that we need to mention is how beautiful it was that this collective came together to honor him. And when he was still with us, local folks helping him out. It's truly, I think, one of the great messages of Star Trek is community, and everybody was there for him both before and after. So thank you for that. And by the way, if people are wondering, Wayne's name is still in the Patreon list. That is not a mistake. Wayne's name will forever
Always there.
Be read in. I'm gonna start crying, and so I'm gonna stop. But he will always be in our Patreon list. That is a wrap on 2024 and our end of year special. We are in 2025, and I'm going to start the year with chaos. We'll see you next week. We don't know what we're doing yet next week. We have episodes
No,
for
you
3 weeks
know.
after. No, I don't.
You know?
No, that's not
I
next
mean-
week. I don't know what we're doing next week still.
We're like maybe.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. But whatever we're doing
We'll be
next
there.
week, we'll be there. It's going to be fun. So we'll see you next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat place, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time here on YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you're new. All of that stuff. So for Giraffe, for MC, and for Eric and Hawk who aren't here, we miss you. Live long and prosper. Majram.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Sarcastic Vulcan salute.
Engage the core.
Good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.